As regards to all the AI governance decision makers, my name is Darema Bersi, and I am the founder of Govlanes AI. This is an official proposal for the standardization of AI governance. The world today is adopting AIs at unprecedented speeds, but governance seems to be lagging behind or struggling to catch up because AIs are extremely dynamic and they do not really match with the static classification that we're currently using with AIs. The way an AI system bites in one country is exactly the same way it's going to bite in another. The discriminations an AI system can cause in one country is the same way it's going to discriminate in another. So that calls for standardization because the way we interact with AIs across races, countries, jurisdiction is pretty much the same way we do it. So the only thing that differs is the way we try to govern it and we try to mitigate the harms that AIs can potentially cause. The problem is not that we lack policy language. The problem is that AIs do not come underneath categories. And I would like to ask a question. When we say we're governing AIs, what exactly are we governing? Are we governing the models itself? Are we governing the builders? Are we governing the use cases or the end users? What exactly are we governing? And what happens when a system created for one thing starts doing something else overnight? What happens when a system or model is being trained or extended and expanded across multiple high-risk contexts? How do we mitigate others? If all these are concerns, then the next few minutes are going to be extremely vital because AI governance is first an engineering problem before a legal governance problem. I am not trying to replace legal governance with engineering. I am just arguing that engineering has to create a lens through which legal governance can see the deepest nuances of an AI system and be able to govern it with absolute clarity. Let us take a simple analogy, an example. Let's say there is a village that suffers from heat strokes, and then the regulators of that jurisdiction decided that everyone should open their windows when it's hot. The next day, some windows were opened and some weren't. And the reason for this is because some people felt like it was warm or cold. Some felt like it was hot. You really can't punish them because these classifications are open for debates. So the next day, an engineer shows up, creates a thermometer, and the legal jurisdiction stated that if it's 32 degrees, all windows should be open. And the next day, all windows were open at 32 degrees. This approach is the same way we need to approach AIs. We need a way to speak a common language when it comes to governing AIs. So if all of this makes some sense, then permit me introduce you to the diagram for AI governance. This is a dynamic framework for AI governance, which is an end-to-end architecture that approaches AI governance from a multidimensional categorization approach by starting with a multidimensional categorization matrix that spans across 7 different dimensions and then calculates the diagram classification signature. This gives every single AI system or tool in the world a unique risk signature. Then that risk signature is further converted into a numeric risk score. So when other people are saying that this system is high risk, low risk, medium risk, the diagram says this system has a risk score of 25. This is beautiful because it is recomputable. You can explain why this system has a risk score of 25. You can capture the deepest nuances and show its capabilities, its use cases, its impact, the context in which it operates, the active ownership class, and all that plays a major role. The classification, it doesn't end there. After having this risk signature as a number or having the risk score of the system, governments can go one step further to say, okay, based on the sector, systems that have a risk score of 0 to 10 are going to fall on the governance intensity level 1. So the diagram also proposes governance intensity levels from G1 to G7. This is beautiful because today AI governance is not very accessible to startups and solo developers, solopreneurs, which is a bottleneck because in the next generation or in the next few years, the vast majority of tools that are going to be floating around the world are going to be created by solo developers and small businesses. And if there's no way these people can get access to serious AI governance, then we are in trouble. So governments can say if you have a risk score of this to this, you fall under this G level, and Govlanes and the diagram calls that thresholding, governance level threshold. From there's what we call the jurisdictional adaptation layer. So the diaphragm is not coming to dictate or to tell governments what to do. Governments or jurisdictions are going to have their absolute sovereignty over every single aspect of their AI governance. Diaphragm just standardizes the way it approaches and the way we discuss and we talk about AI governance in a way that resonates with the real nature of AIs. The jurisdictional adaptation layer comes in for governments to give the legal obligations, the consequences should your system go wrong, and how to mitigate the evidence packs per system, per sector, so that when a builder grabs their jurisdictional adaptation document, they understand exactly, based on their sector, how to govern their AIs, whether they're going to collect this level of evidences. Meanwhile, the G levels come in to tell them how intense the governance needs to be, based on frequency and other key points. From there's what we call the governance core package that combines everything into a single document. And no, this is real. It's working. It's living. You can try it this very minute. The governance core package comprises of the rig snapshot, the rig score, the diagram classification signature, the jurisdictional adaptation document. If there is any other jurisdiction, for example, tools that cross jurisdictions. We have what we call cross-jurisdictional overlays that combines obligations from the different jurisdictions and maps it into a single governance core package that can be used later. And then the governance intensity obligations come in to tell them how intense the governance should be based on their risk score, their skill, and all of that tested and proven. Why this is important is because today's AI, we really cannot mitigate AIs today without looking at the deepest nuances. So this is an open call for the standardization. If you're watching this right now up to this point, I'm officially inviting you to take at least a short review of what I am talking about. These are not just claims. We have spent relentless amount of time building the diaphragm and testing it. Right now we have a live living pilot just hubbing, and you try it out. I'm going to leave a lot of documents, videos that further explains the diaphragm, but this aspect of classifying AI systems based on their deepest risk signature and converting it further, it's what has the potential to solve a lot of problems we have with AI governance in our world of today. A few months back, if you want to govern AIs, you need to hire some AI governance experts. They're going to spend sometime maybe weeks to decide or to understand your system's capabilities and everything, then to come up with a checklist before you can have your obligation. You can spend a lot of money and you can spend months. But the diaphragm comes in to make all of that computable in such a way that you can have your systems, you can have your obligation within hours. And the best part is that before you even create a system, you can compute the risk signature of a system before you create it. AI governance today is like trying to respond to something that's already there. The diaphragm comes in to give that opportunity where you can say, okay, I want to create a system. I'm going to check the risks signature to see how risky it is, and then I see some trade-off and the obligations that I need to adhere to. So you can use that to decide on the various systems that we want to create, so that governance is not an afterthought. Governance needs to be baked in from day one so that the builders know what they are doing. Most people build today and then tomorrow they start wondering how to govern it. Diagram comes in to solve this problem. We are not leaving it open for teams or companies to start debating the system is high risk, the system is low risk, or the system is this. The diagram comes in to give the deepest risk signature of that system that legal practitioners or regulators can use to further govern the system seamlessly. Thank you very much if you're watching, and I am still inviting you to try out the diagram before you can make any decisions, and we are open to questions because we strongly believe that the diagram has a strong potential to solve a lot, if not possible, 90 to 95% of the AI governance bottlenecks that we have nowadays. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in other videos.